Just texting the chats where you are hearing me from, what country you are in, what city you are in. I'm excited to be speaking to you guys from Dar es Salaam. If you can hear my voice, please type in the comments where you are hearing us from. Okay, I'm waiting to see that. Guys, if you are hearing me, thank you so much. I see people from Zambia, Lusaka. Thank you, Malawi, Kenya. All right, Mwanza, Tanzania. It's basically all over Africa, South Africa. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was just giving it a moment to allow someone to come and officially start the event, but because she's not available right now, I'll go ahead and start it. But let me start by appreciating all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, ready to learn and add value for your own health. But of course, I know it's not just for yourself, it's for other people around you. So my dears, I always tell people, you have 2 ears for a reason. One is for you to act on the information and the knowledge that you're going to get today. But the other one is for someone else you know, probably a lady you know who is struggling with their health, or someone you know that probably knows someone who is also struggling. You can take a moment just to invite someone that you know is not yet in the room with us today. Just tell them we have started, because we're going to have an amazing time. We're going to learn a lot of things, but I'll stick to it so that we are able to finish in only 60 minutes that we have. So let us go right in. Again, thank you so much. And like you can see there on screen, my names are Elizabeth Riwa Salema. Professionally, I'm a doctor. So I'm going to be speaking with you guys from my own experience, from my own knowledge as a medical professional, but also as someone who has personally experienced what it means to take care of their health, what it means to have challenges when it comes to women's health. So if you have any of the challenges that we are going to speak about, just note down any questions that you could have, because at the end, we could have a few minutes for questions and answers, or even if we don't get that, you can be able to talk to me directly and I can be able to answer any of the questions that you will have. Okay, are you ready? Just type I'm ready in the chat. Okay, let's go right in. So when you speak of health, when you speak of women's health in general, we have to remind ourselves, we have to remind each other that health is the very most important thing we should be thinking about, we should be investing in, we should be putting more time and energy in understanding so we can take better care of it. So we all speak these words, health is wealth. But ask yourself this, how much money have you spent in your health last month? Or from January until now, how much have you spent on your health? How much time have you spent learning or understanding more what you can do better in taking care of your health? Most of the time, we leave that responsibility to the doctors, to people, to other people to be able to take care of us when we fall sick. But actually, as a professional, as a medical professional, I'll tell you, doctors are not taught to give you health. They are taught to cure diseases. That's the most important thing that we learn in all the years we are in medical school. So at the end of the day, the responsibility that we have to take care of our health is personal. You have to take the full responsibility of what you do before you even go to the doctor in taking care of your health, in allowing you to maintain that health that you have and to even get better as the days goes by. But what we are usually lacking is the right knowledge of how our body behaves, what our bodies need, so that we can be able to maintain that good health for a long time. But when it comes to women's health as well, I always say we are usually given the short end of the stick. I can say that because we have a lot of challenges that we are naturally predisposed to, just because of the way our bodies behave and the way our systems are. So without having that knowledge of what is supposed to be normal and what is not normal in our health, sometimes we could miss a lot of issues that could be growing inside our bodies little by little. Now, this knowledge will be important for you to even pick some things that are not okay in your body, some things that you could be ignoring, that could be warning signs for you to take better care of your health. So when it comes to our health as women, it starts from the moment we turn puberty, from the moment that we start ovulating, the moment we start getting the monthly periods. How are the periods behaving? How are they? Do you get them regularly? And what are they associated with? Are they painful or not painful? Are they regular? Are they 4 days or 10 days? Sometimes we have people have cycles that are changing every single month. How are they for you? How is your sexual health? We'll talk about all these things as we go along. And even all the issues that could happen up until menopause. And even when we want to look younger, when it comes to aging, we will touch on all those. Now, when it comes to puberty, the issues that could come around that area, we know, of course, we have people getting acne that are never ending, that cannot go away with whatever they use when it comes to skincare. So that could be an issue because that could originate from hormonal imbalance. We have people facing painful periods. They tell me, oh, I can't survive the 4 days, even if it's just 4 days, but I can't survive without painkillers. And you could have been used to that ever since you started your periods until today. We have people getting irregularities. Some get headaches, some get moody when it comes to the period around their menses. We call it PMS. It's something that could be severe as you age, or it could be severe just at the beginning of your menses, but it's not something to be tolerated. You can't do something about it. When you speak of UTIs, we have people that are just coming out of doctors every month, every 2 months. They use different kinds of antibiotics because they keep getting recurrent UTIs. And our bodies, we are more prone to getting UTIs than men, just because of the way our systems as well is designed biologically. Now, when it comes to after the periods and issues around that, we go to the next one, sexual health. Another area that women are struggling a lot from the moment of starting sexual intercourse. We have people who comment that I always get some pain, not just in the beginning, but I always continue getting pains during intercourse. Some do not even get that feeling, the interest, the natural urge to have sexual intercourse. They don't get it. Some are married and still they don't enjoy intercourse. Some are too dry, they get vaginal dryness, and this could be periodically. It could be happening because of whatever hormonal imbalance that you're having. It could be happening because of whatever probably season that you are in, if it's just after pregnancy or whatever. So all these things, we should know what is normal and what is not. We should notice the changes that our bodies are behaving. We have people who are saying, okay, I used to be a lot wet, but now I'm getting drier. I notice that I'm getting drier and I no longer enjoy that process. Now, you have to know that there's something you can do. There's something you can change because God designed you to enjoy that process. And sometimes it's the medications that we use, the lifestyle that we have, that could be the problematic thing causing you not to enjoy, causing that wetness to disappear, or sometimes even the different seasons and the different hormonal imbalances that could happen in our different seasons could cause that issue. And then we go further. We have other issues. When you speak of hormonal imbalance, it's one of the most common issues facing women, my dears. And I know you know that there's a lot of people, probably yourself, you have faced one form of hormonal imbalance. Now, let me tell you one thing. I'm in business for 13 years. The reason I started my business with Forever back then in 2009 was because I wanted extra income. But I'm so grateful to God today that I chose this amazing company. I'll tell you more about the way that my transformation in my health began. But I started because of the money. But today I'm saying I'm so grateful. The biggest percent of my gratefulness is because it ended up touching my health. I had issues with hormonal imbalance. I had something we called Pcos. I'll tell you more about it. But the hormonal imbalance I had was giving me an issue in my fertility. I was not able to conceive naturally. And some of these symptoms I used to get as well while I had that hormonal imbalance. Now, we have people facing this thing without even knowing. People who have hormonal imbalance without even knowing. Why? Look at those symptoms. They're just things that you can easily ignore. You could get a headache and say it's just because I'm tired today. Or you sweat at night and you say, okay, probably it's the weather. But it could be cold and you still have the night sweat. You could be craving a lot of sweets, a lot of carbohydrates, all because of the underlying hormonal imbalance. And when we speak of hormonal imbalance, what we mean, our bodies are supposed to have messengers, and those messengers are what we call hormones. The messengers are what talk to our bodies. It means they communicate with our bodies and tell the body what it feels, what it has, what it needs. Now, if those messengers are not communicating correctly, it means our hormones will be all out of place, and the messages our bodies are receiving will be out of place. It means you could be in a cold place and you're feeling hot, the hot flashes. You could be feeling sad while you're supposed to be happy. There's no reason why you should be sad, but then you can't explain, why am I feeling sad all the time? Now, all these could be because of the underlying hormonal imbalance. Now, in women especially, we don't have the natural habit of taking care of our, of taking frequent tests, especially just measuring hormone levels in your system. If you do that frequently, then kudos to you. But for most of us, we don't do that. So it's very easy to go unnoticed hormonal imbalance. Now, what is an issue? You can very much control and live with these symptoms. But what I should tell you is there's a lot of things that could be the reasons, of course, for you to get into that imbalance. Now, when you don't notice that I have an issue, it means you won't even notice, what do I need to change in my lifestyle that could take me out of this challenge? Now, when you speak of hormonal imbalance, we have a lot of causes. There is no one single cause that you can pinpoint and say it's only this one thing. All of these things play a part. From the things that you eat and the things that you don't eat, all the chemicals that we put in our bodies. Look at what you ate from morning until now. If you are eating healthier, it means at least there's some of these things that you went away that you didn't eat, probably processed foods, probably you didn't eat a lot of sugars. But even if you eat something that is healthy, vegetables, you don't know what insecticides and pesticides went to that vegetable before you ate it. Now, there's a lot that we could be putting in our bodies, and when they go inside your body, they mimic hormones. And that is why they cause hormonal imbalance, because your body will translate them as excess hormones or in an imbalance in your hormones. So what we eat, what we apply, that is another sector, ladies, in the house, because we love to look good. We love to feel good. Now, when it comes to what we apply on our bodies, we rarely read labels. Now, there's a lot of chemicals that could be in your skincare products, in your hair products, without you knowing, even in your home cleaning products, that when they get in your system, because everything when it touches your skin, only 26 seconds it takes for it to go to your system. So it could go to your system and disrupt your hormones without you knowing, causing a toxic overload in your system. Sometimes it's just the different conditions or the drugs that we are using, or even the diseases that we could be having that could cause the hormonal imbalance. But again, without forgetting, overweight and obesity and stress. Those are among other things that you may not even notice them, but they could cause the hormonal imbalance to continue staying there year in, year out. Now, you could tolerate those symptoms that I showed you, but let me show you this. Just you tolerating the hormonal imbalance could be increasing your breast cancer risk. And we know breast cancer is among the cancers that are very common in women, taking lives of women globally, millions and millions of lives. Now, you could control your risk, over 97% of your risk, by just controlling and balancing your hormones. Now, don't take it as a simple thing, hormones. Take it as something that you need to be adding value in. Use something that could control and balance your hormones frequently, because you don't test them that frequently. So it means it's very important that to make it a habit to check a balance, to keep a balance in your hormones frequently, because you could be genetically at risk of getting breast cancer because your family member probably had it, to your mom or your grandma. Or if environmentally, you could be exposed to something, but nothing compares to hormonal imbalance. The way that it adds the impact, it increases your risk of getting breast cancer. And these words here, we love to talk about losing weight and feeling good in your weight. But at the end of the day, we lose weight not because we want to feel good, to look good or to fit in whatever clothes that we want to fit in. It's mainly because of your health. When you speak of fat cells, they are estrogen making machines. It means they're the underlying reason why you could be in hormonal imbalance. Because the fat cells that we keep holding on to our bodies, they're the ones that overcharge our hormones and cause hormonal imbalance to continue being there. So ladies in the house, this is definitely not something you should overlook when it comes to your personal health. But again, we have natural ways that someone can do. That is why we say food can be medicine for you. Even just exercise, the right things if you put in your body, and the right exercises and just general lifestyle changes can be able to really help you controlling your hormones naturally. Then let's go to another issue in women. When you speak of uterine fibroids, I know all of you guys can resonate with me. You know someone who had it. Probably you yourself had it in once in your life, because these are tumors that could be originating originating or coming from your uterine wall, could be inside your wall or outside. They could be positioned differently. And the way that they're positioned, they will determine what symptoms you could be having. Again, these are variety in the way that they'll cause you to feel. Some could cause pain, some could cause no pain at all. Some you could feel them even when you touch your stomach, but some you don't feel anything. Sometimes they could cause irregularities in your period, if especially they're located anywhere inside your uterine wall. But for some, they will not, because probably they're in there somewhere in your uterine wall. Now, when you speak of fibroids, there's something that is very common to women. Actually, out of 100, out of 10, 7 up to 8 will get fibroids in their lifetime. That is a huge risk, ladies in the house. So it means anyone that you know, or probably yourself even, you could be among the risk factors, because what increases your risk of getting fibroids, it's variety of things. One of them being overweight, the lifestyle of eating a lot of sugary food, a lot of red meat as well. Vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin is one of the most vital vitamins, especially for women, because it does a lot in our reproductive system health. Or another reason is hormonal imbalance. And that is why most fibroids are in a way associated with hormones imbalance. And sometimes that is the reason why sometimes that could happen during probably the time you're pregnant or anywhere around that area. Look, guys, even hair relaxer. And this is just one thing, but it's just showing the things that you apply on your body, on your hair, on your skin. It could be a factor of you accumulating things that could cause those kind of tumors. Now, again, like I said, they could be any type, and they affect about 7 to 8 among 10 people. And different sizes, from one small, like a small fruit, but it could also be as big as a baby. And they have a tendency to keep growing and invite their friends. It means when you have one, you are likely to grow others as well. So it means it's really something not to go to the hospital and just take it out. And of course, there's a point where probably because of their height and size, you'll need to have the operation. But even after you do the operation, still go to the root cause. Change your lifestyle. Use the right things that will help you control hormones, will help you fix the deficiencies and control your body's ability to create these things, because they have a tendency to come back even after removing them. And we know a lot of people that face that kind of thing. When it comes to women health as well, we know something called ovarian cysts. That could happen as a single cyst, or it could happen like what happened for me. I told you about the PCOS. We call it polycystic ovarian syndrome, that I was diagnosed with when I was in my 3rd year of medical school. And the professor who diagnosed me immediately told me, this thing has no cure. And you know, in medicine, there's a lot of things that have no cure. And you wonder why we put a lot of trust in doctors. Of course, I'm not saying you should not trust doctors, but I'm saying we rely on them so much that they have all the answers, but they don't have all the answers, because a lot that goes behind the scenes in the way that diseases are made, it's things that they have no control over. Doctors have no control over. And it means we have control over in terms of what we do beforehand, what we put in our bodies, and what we don't allow in our bodies. So I was diagnosed with this PCOS, which is something that causes hormonal imbalance as well. And what happens? Actually, it's a very common thing. 1 in 10, it's not rare. It means a lot of people could be having it, some of them without even knowing, because the symptoms, again, could be very wide. For my case, I used to have very irregular periods. You know, for ladies here, you know, you usually have 4 days of periods. I used to have periods continuously for 3 weeks. Imagine, every single day. Sometimes I have a lot of very heavy periods. Sometimes I have very small drops. Very few drops. So that was the main reason why I went to the doctor. They did an ultrasound and they diagnosed me with this very typical cyst in the ovary. Now, what happens is, very simply, what happens is, because the hormones are not perfectly balanced, it means when the egg is trying to get to maturity in your ovaries, because what happens every month is your egg will grow because of the right hormone balance. It will grow, it will get to maturity, and then the egg will come out. We call it the young egg, the oocytes will come out. And that process is what we call ovulation. Now, for someone who has PCOS, it means the egg will start growing, the follicle will start growing, but before it reaches maturity, there'll be a stop in the development process. And when that happens, it means you have small cysts remaining in your ovaries. And that is very typical to be seen in your ultrasound, and it's very easy to diagnose it that way. Now, for me, it means it's very difficult for this person to conceive. And that was the case for myself as well. The doctor told me it will be impossible to conceive naturally, most likely. So when you want to get a baby, you have to come. And there's a procedure that we'll do for you to naturally prick the ovaries. They use something we call ovarian drilling. They prick the ovaries to excite them to get to maturity, to make the eggs go to maturity. So I'm speaking today as a mom of 3, actually, and as a person who is testifying to the power of nutrition, that it can heal you. I did not do any ovarian drilling. I did not do any surgical procedure for my PCOS. Why? Because I helped my body heal with the right nutrition. And I'll speak about that more just in the near future. Now, another very common issue when it comes to women's health is what we call PID. I'm sure you've heard about it, or you know someone who is struggling with it. PID is something that originates or naturally starts from an infection or an inflammation in your reproductive system. Now, if you have an infection that is not fully treated, you know, that is why the doctor tells you finish your medication. Most of the time, when you're given your medication, probably you're told to drink it for a full week or probably 2 weeks. It's easy. When the symptoms wear off, you stop taking the medication, because you don't like taking the medications. But there's a repercussion with that, because that disease could remain there. The bacteria could remain there, and they could transmit themselves upwards, and they could start going inside your pelvic area and your pelvic and your reproductive organs, and they could affect any of these areas and cause a chronic inflammation in those areas. Now, that is what we call PID, which is basically an inflammatory disease. When you speak of inflammation, you speak of that natural reaction of your body when a bacteria or something that is bad, a bacteria, a virus or fungus that stays there and causes that body's reaction to start happening. That reaction is what we call inflammation. Now, when that is not controlled, it could cause a very big issue. It could cause continuous pain. It could even cause pus and abscess forming in different parts of your reproductive system. Now, that is why the symptoms are very wide in terms of what someone could be experiencing when they have PID. You could be just having dirty discharge, greenish, brownish discharge that is not explained. It means that could be a sign as well. You could be having smelly discharge, irregular periods as well. Pain is one of the very common things that happens either during periods. It could happen during intercourse. It could even happen naturally, even when you're just sitting. You could be having lower back pain or lower abdomen pain, any of that. But if this is not treated, if PID is not controlled, it's very easy for it to result in infertility, because it could actually cause a blockage to your fallopian tubes. And when that happens, it means the egg cannot be transported. And your last choice would be to do IVF or any of those other things. Now, again, we have things that we can do when it comes to controlling your body in those issues. Now, another issue that is facing a lot of couples, actually, I cannot even say women as women alone, because infertility is never caused by one person. It's 2 people. And actually, 1 out of 6 couples are struggling with infertility in the world we live in today. So it's a pretty common thing. And there are issues that are caused by women. And we also have issues that could be happening because of the male part. Now, these days, the knowledge is big. It's not just the woman who is supposed to do something about their health, even the men when it comes to treating PCOS. And actually, we have things that naturally boost fertility both in men and women. So it means when you as a lady are using them, make sure your husband as well or your significant other is also using them as well. Now, when it comes to infertility, causes could be a lot. Like you can see there, hormonal imbalance because of PCOS is one of the causes, which was the reason for me, because I was in a marriage without any protected intercourse for 4.5 years without naturally conceiving even once. That was because the PCOS that I had was causing me to be infertile. And we have people with PCOS that get secondary infertility. It means you could have a baby even right now as we speak, but then you get PCOS, or you have the symptom of PCOS after you have a baby, and we call it secondary infertility. We have people facing secondary infertility after using the contraceptives. We know the contraceptives, one of the issues that they come with, especially the hormonal ones, they disrupt the hormones. So they could very easily cause hormonal imbalance, and that could cause a secondary infertility. I conceived 2 pregnancies after correcting my PCOS. And then after the 2 pregnancies, I used hormonal contraceptives. So I'm also someone who benefited from how can I correct my hormones after using hormonal contraceptives. So if you're listening to me here and you have gone through that as well, worry not. We have things that are helping people every corner. Now, when it comes to how you can control this, it matters the lifestyle changes that you make. It matters what vitamins and supplements that you give your body. And it matters even, sometimes you may need some extra procedures depending on what is the issue or what is the clearly thing that is causing your infertility. And that is why it's important, if you're facing this, go to the doctors, get thorough checkup, so that you can be able to pinpoint and know if you have a fibroid, if you have anything, they can know, so that they know exactly what you're going to work on, what you're going to solve, what you're going to treat when it comes to the medication and also the nutritional supplements that you can use. Okay, so we speak of women health, we cannot miss talking about overweight and obesity, especially in our culture. Why? Because for most people, after they get a pregnancy, after they get a baby, it's the time that is very difficult to get back to the pre-pregnancy weight. And even for some, just from hormonal imbalance or just from loving to eat well, we sometimes put on weight, and sometimes it could be the cause of a lot of issues. And why we talk of overweight and obesity, like I said, it's not so that you can fit in a certain dress or you can look good. You look good regardless of the weight that you have. But the most important reason we speak about weight loss and the danger of being overweight and obese, it's because of all those issues you see there on the screen. Imagine these days, it's about 6 in 10 people that are having a risk of getting diabetes in their lifetime. And you can ask anyone with diabetes, they'll tell you it's one of the most dangerous diseases you can ever have. Now imagine just you being overweight and obese, it's increasing your risk tremendously. Even cancers. Most cancers, they need that environment of being overweight. They need excess fat cells to be in your system so that you can increase your risk. So ladies in the house, we talk about weight loss. We'll talk about measures that someone can do, whether you're after pregnancy or even before, that you can do to make sure that you add value to your health and you reduce your risk of these, we call them non-communicable diseases. And then, of course, as women, our clock is ticking. We like to say that because every time as we speak, we know the clock is ticking. We are going to definitely reach a point of menopause. But again, we could have issues way before that last menstrual period. We have a normal period, we call them the premenopausal period, the normal productive life for a woman. Let's say from the moment they're born up until 35 years of age. You could have the perimenopausal stage. We call it the time before you cease your periods, your monthly periods. You could have issues from 15 years before. That means from 35 to 50 years, you could be having issues around hormonal imbalance, around vaginal dryness, any of these premenopausal symptoms. You could be facing them from 35 years of age. So if you have any of these things, don't be surprised. That is what we call premenopausal. And you can't do something about it because it's just a sign that your body is struggling to keep an eye on their hormones. It's struggling to keep a control of the way that your hormones are behaving in your system. Now, you can do something so that you have a good quality of life still, despite being around that age group, in that age group as well. Now, I mentioned about this, the challenges that are around overweight and obesity, but let's just remind each other that issues that are facing women is beyond reproductive system issues. It's not just about your hormones. It's not just about your period and your menses and your fertility. It's also about these non-communicable diseases, because they are the leading the leading causes of death for anybody, for men and even for women. Actually, one of the highest causes of death among women is cardiovascular diseases. It's not even breast cancer, it's cardiovascular diseases. Why? Because again, non-communicable diseases are things that are a sign that there's something wrong with our natural lifestyle today. They're a sign that there's something that we need to fix in the way that we're living today. Because of course, when you speak of cancers, when you speak of diabetes, cardiovascular issues, even reproductive issues, they are all very much tied up to our lifestyle. They are very dependent on the kind of lifestyle that we have. And research shows that all these growing rates of cancers, we see young people getting cancers, young people getting type 2 diabetes, not even the one that you're born with, the type 1. They're getting all these issues at very young ages. Why? Because of a toxic overload in our systems. Because the way that our lifestyles are, it's very different from the way it was 10 years ago. So we cannot depend on the same things that we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, to be able to help us in this generation. They're not satisfactory in themselves. And we remind each other as well, the first wealth is health. Now, we have to add value to ourselves. What are we doing? We have to invest in the right way so that we are able to add value to our health. Because when you speak of health, it's not just a one thing. It's not just a one thing that contributes 100% to if you're healthy or not. And it's multifaceted, we can say. It's about how you eat. It's about how you exercise. It's about the amount of water that you can have, the stress that you are putting on your system, in your body. You are allowing the stress to continue staying in your body. How do you do that? And as women, when you speak of reducing stress, that is one area we really need to work on, because we have a lot of things in our plate and sometimes things are justifiable, but we have to find ways that we can be able to touch our health in all the important factors as they are shown there. And I'll speak about a couple of them and what you can do, what we can do better when it comes to taking care of our health. Like I mentioned, the main challenge is first, toxic overload and free radical damage. And the second is lack of proper nutrition. How we eat, again, is different from the way probably 20 years ago people used to eat. Because of globalization, because of urbanization, everything is not as accessible as it was all those years ago. I remember growing up, my mom used to grow almost every vegetable that we ate at home. But I cannot say the same for our case right now. I don't know where you live, but I know it's very difficult to grow everything. The tomatoes, the vegetables that you're eating, the cucumbers, all of those, we used to grow them at home, but it's not the case right now. We buy them from people who are doing business. So I don't know, I can't know what they put there to make sure that it looks nice. It looks inviting for the eye because they just want to make that sale. So when it comes to your health, these are the two most important factors that you should be looking at and knowing and asking yourself, how am I adding value to my health on these two areas? We'll speak about the toxic overload first and free radical damage. You could be there thinking, what is free radical? Should I care? Why should I care about toxic overload in my systems? Now, when you speak of free radicals, these we can call unstable molecules or unstable cells in your system that are there to corrupt your normal cells. They're there to corrupt your normal stable molecules in order that they can themselves try to be stable. So when something is like this, it's unstable, it means straight on it will go to attack a normal cell and it will cause it to be unstable as well. And that is why free radical damage is usually a chain reaction. It could start slowly, but then it could keep adding up to each other, influencing each other. And then at the end of the day, you find out your system is it's kind of getting worse by the minute because it starts slowly, but it tends to continue like a domino effect. Now, where do we get these free radicals? What causes them in our systems? We have a lot of reasons, a lot of causes that could be causing a free radical damage in your system. One of them being UV rays. Provided you live on this earth, trust me, you get that effect of the UV rays. It's not about the sun. Even if you live in a country where the sun is not that bright, still you get those rays that could be causing the free radical overload in your system. If you drink alcohol, you have physical stress, you do exercise, you have emotional stress, you have all those things weigh on your mind. They could be causing a lot more free radicals in your system. All the pollutions that we could be eating in our food. We are supposed to sleep 8 hours every single day. Do you sleep 8 hours? If you don't, it means your system is getting an overload of free radicals as well. How much processed foods do you eat? Inflammations in your system, the diet, you rarely eat vegetables. That could be a sign that the free radical damage is adding up in your system. And even the normal metabolism in your body, it will cause the free radicals to be produced. Now, we cannot run away from the fact that our bodies will have these free radicals. And even if our lifestyle is not as good, it means the number and the amount of the damage that we are getting is way bigger than it's supposed to be. And that damage is what we can see there, like what happens on an apple when you just leave it on the air, what happens on a banana, a lot of things. They turn color, they change, and they decay. It's what causes things to decay is the free radical damage. Nothing else changes, but it's just from the air. The damage will start happening. The same for our bodies. And that is why we die. Because imagine if we didn't have any of the free radical damage, it means probably would have lived forever. But that is not the way the world is designed. We're supposed to die one day, but you can slow down that process. You're not supposed to look older than you are. You can slow down the aging process in your body, on the outside and even on the inside when it comes to your organs. So this free radical damage is what causes aging. Actually, we say premature aging and a lot of these diseases we are speaking of. Now, how do we help our bodies? Because naturally, the body has the natural ability to flush out, to get rid of all these what we call toxins and the free radicals and the bad chemicals that are getting in our system or our bodies are producing. That is why we have the liver. The liver is there to filter out every bad thing that is not supposed to stay in your system. It will be taken out from by the liver, and then it will either go to the skin and you sweat it out. It could go to the kidneys, you urinate, you to go to your colon, you'll pass stool, and then even to your lungs, you breathe out the toxins that you're not supposed to keep in your system. But if you're putting in more than you're taking out, and not just you're taking out just because you have a liver, but if you're putting in more than your natural ability of your liver to take out, it means there will be excess. And most likely for all of us, there's always an excess. That excess will be stored in your system. It could be stored in fat cells. That is why sometimes you could find it very hard to lose weight because your body is kind of holding on to those fat cells because of the excess toxins that your body has, and it has stored them in the fat cells. It could even go to your bones. Sometimes you could be feeling weak. You get pain, frequent pains in your joints, sometimes pain in even your bones, or sometimes you just get tired all the time. Your brain cannot concentrate enough. You get tired just after you eat. All those could be signs that your body is struggling. Even some hormonal imbalance, they're just caused by this toxicity. Lack of, when you speak of your immune system, lack of a very strong and epic immune system, it could be a sign that your body is finding it hard to get rid of these excess toxins. So when you start getting a little bit of headache, when you start feeling fatigue, what do? The quick thing to do is just to get a drug. Let me get Panadol so that I can lower whatever that I'm feeling. And when you take that medication for something, you're not even having an illness. It's just your body trying to fight against the toxins that you have. When you take a medication for that, your body's natural ability to filter out toxins goes even lower. So it means it becomes another vicious cycle of you getting deeper and deeper into the excess of toxicity in your system. The only right thing to do is have a tendency to allow your body, help your body to detoxify often, to help it in its natural process of eliminating these toxins. And that is what will add a lot of value to your health. Naturally, you can do this first by drinking enough water. When you speak of women, we say, for women, we say at least 2 liters in a day. Depending on your weight, it could be more, depending on how many kilos that you have. But again, get rid of sugars in your system. Reduce the amount of sugar. You can say, okay, I cannot live completely sugar-free, but at least reduce the amount of sugar that you're eating. Because sugar has a tendency to create for you what we call dependency. And for most of us, we have this dependency. We eat a lot of carbs. Carbs are naturally being converted to sugars in our system. And then they cause a surge of your body needing more of the same kind of sugars, the same kind of high carbs diet. And what that causes is a lifestyle of eating too much of that. And then at the end of the day, every system of your body will suffer, starting with your liver, which is the most important factor for you getting rid of toxins. It will suffer because that excess sugar will be converted into fats. It will cause something that is almost the same as for someone who is a heavy drinker. When you drink a lot of alcohol, again, your liver will be full of fat. If you eat a lot of sugar, again, your liver could have a lot of fat. We call it fatty liver disease, and could cause a stop in your natural detoxification process. And let's not even talk about the weight issues that could come out of it and a lot of extra things. So you can start slow, but you can set a goal to reduce the sugar intake that you have, reduce eating the sugar, because the only way that you can get rid of this is starting to change little by little, because the more sugar you eat, the more sugar you crave in your body. Okay, so we should all strive to have this kind of a plate. At least half of your plate should be vegetables. This is not the African way that we are taught to eat. I remember growing up, you have to fill your plate with carbs first. If it's rice, if it's ugali, I don't know in your country how that is called, but mostly it's the biggest part of our plates. We are taught that should be the biggest part. But health-wise, vegetables should be the biggest part of your plate. Now, if you start changing into eating this kind in this way, you'll most likely reach that WHO recommendation of 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day that you're supposed to be eating. That will help you get rid of toxins. It will help you give yourself the right vitamins and minerals. But at the same time, it will help you in a very massive way when you're controlling your weight. Now, when it comes to this kind of eating, you could eat this way and still be in a deficiency when it comes to your nutrition. And we know for a fact our bodies, they have that natural ability to heal, but it matters what you give them. If you eat a lot of junk, if you eat something that tastes nice but does not have any vitamins in it, it means your body will lack that ability to heal itself. Now, it matters what you eat. It matters how you eat if you are to give your body the right nutrition. First of all, you consider your plate, like I showed you. But of course, you have to realize the fact that it is impossible in the world today to get every vitamin you need, every minerals you need from food alone. Because even before that food reaches your plate, the soil is already depleted. We live in a world where farming is commercialized. It's not people who are farming so that they can get it from their farm straight to their plates. We're not in that era anymore. So it means the land that we live in is already depleted because of the farming that we are doing right now. It's not for consumable farming. But another thing, how long does it take from the moment that your food is grown, is farmed from the farms, to the moment it makes it on your plate? All that transportation, all that processing along the way, it gets rid of more vitamins. It gets rid of more minerals that should be on your plate. So we are fed by a food industry that pays no attention to health. The people that are making your food, they don't care about your health. They mainly care about the business. But again, even the health industry, the doctors, we are not taught as doctors to know that food is medicine. So it means if you don't add value on yourself, if you don't research on yourself and know that I need the right nutrition to be able to heal my body, it means you won't be able to benefit health-wise. Now, when it comes to nutrition, supplementation these days, it's something that even big doctors are speaking a lot of. We have doctors from Harvard School of Public Health mentioning that food alone, even if you plate your plate the way that I showed you, it's not enough in itself. to give you all that you need when it comes to nutrition. You need a high quality nutritional supplement. And we have seen that evident in our own personal stories, how the right nutrition can be able to heal your body, to naturally help your body heal. And at this point, I'm so grateful to God that I found and I met this amazing company that we're going to introduce you to, the Aloe Vera company, which is a company that has health as its core reason for existence. They started this company so that they can be able to help more people globally have better health, and starting with nutrition as the most important factor for that good health. Now, we don't speak of just things that you can use that you cannot rely on. Quality is the most important thing when it comes to our product. And that is why we love to say anything less than the best we'll never do in forever. Thorough research is done before any of our product is made. All of the products are made, of course, naturally grown by Forever themselves, making sure that there's no room for any pesticides, insecticides. There's no any chemicals that are mixing with the product before it reaches your hand. And that is why we have been able to get international certifications. As we speak, we are talking of 44 years in existence, and we're speaking of over 165 countries. So we all have our local Food and Drug authorities, and they have all approved this product. So to me, when I was first introducing this product, the first thing I told myself is, I care about my health. I want my family to have a good health as well. So quality is one of the most important things, especially in the world that we live in today. You want to use a product that you're sure of the quality that went into the production of that product. And you can trust me, there's a lot of research that goes behind the scenes before any of our products is produced. And that is why today we offer products that are solving people's issues, that are helping people to get rid of different health challenges. But my ladies, let me remind you, we don't have drugs. We are not here as doctors. We are here as health consultants, people who are here to help you have better health for yourself and your family. Our products are not drugs. They're not there to cure or treat anything. But like I said, when you give your body the right nutrition, it heals itself. And you could get rid of a certain challenge, but not because you had a drug, but because you gave your body the natural ability to heal itself. And I love that part of healing your body, because it's not about an external thing. You equip your body to be able to fight even better. Now, I'll go right into sharing with you guys a couple of things that I highly recommend for ladies to be able to, when it comes to taking care of our health, they're going to do a tremendous change in your physical health, and as well as the challenges that we spoke about. The first most important is these aloe vera drinks. We have a variety of them, but the most important I'll talk about is this aloe vera gel, which is the most important factor when it comes to detoxing your system. When it comes to cleansing your body from inside out, you need aloe. It's naturally a product that is called a wonder plant, the aloe vera plant. Now, Forever has used the inner gel only without diluting it with anything, and they've been able to stabilize it in a way that locks in all the nutrients. When you open this bottle and you drink it at home, it's like you are taking the plant. And of course, we don't just use any plant. We use the highest in quality. We call it the Barbadensis miller, Aloe Barbadensis miller. Now, Forever has concentrated it in a drink that when you start taking it daily, it will naturally help your digestive system. It will get rid of the chemicals and all the bad things that we carry in our digestive system. Ask yourself, if you know someone, or if you yourself, you're not getting stool every single day, that is a big error and it needs to be fixed. Why? Because all this accumulation of things that are supposed to go out, they stay in your system, and they cause a lot more harm than good when they stay in your system. Issues starting from all the discomforts when it comes to gas and a lot of acid in your system, even into tumors and even cancers, could be originating from just you not passing stools every day. Now, when it comes to aloe, it does the main task of detoxifying as well, getting rid of those free radicals that I showed you. So just getting into the habit of drinking aloe vera every day, it will do a lot in keeping you youthful looking, as well as health looking from the inside out. When you speak of women health, you won't miss this amazing favorite of mine, the aloe berry nectar. Why? Because we spoke about UTI earlier. We spoke about all the inflammations that as women we could be going through in our reproductive system. Now, berry nectar is among the top when it comes to natural anti-inflammatory products. Why? It has a lot of aloe. It also has a lot of cranberry juice, which is very important for handling inflammation in your system, as well as handling issues when it comes to UTI, recurrent UTIs. People who are getting UTI all the time. These cranberries, they allow your system not to be easy for it to have the uterine tract infections. It will help your kidneys clean themselves. It will help your bladder, of course, and also even the liver. All the of the excretory organs in your system, even the liver, the skin, everything will glow better when you take the aloe berry nectar. And even for people who don't like the taste of pure aloe, then you will love the taste of aloe berry nectar, okay? So yeah, the aloe berry nectar is very more superior and powerful when it comes to women's health because of the cranberries and apples that are added. Like I said, it makes it a very powerful inflammatory product and also a very strong antioxidant. Now, when it comes to detoxing and getting rid of excess free radicals in your system, this is among the top when it comes to the potency of antioxidants, the antioxidant effect. And we speak of an antioxidant is something that absorbs free radicals from your system. Some can say, okay, so will I go to probably to the toilet and have diarrhea when I'm using this to notice that my body is getting rid of them? No, you won't do that. But when your body is absorbing the toxins, you get a difference in the way that you feel in your system. Now, the way that these work is by absorbing those free radicals, excess free radicals in your system. Now, pomestine as well is among the strongest when you speak of that power, antioxidant power in your system, but as well, it boosts your immune system. It helps in reproductive health as well, both for women and for men, and it's loaded with very, very powerful nutrients, okay? So those are among the drinks that I highly recommend. Then let's go right in. The next thing I highly recommend is cleansing and detoxing our systems often so that we can be able to get rid of the excess weight and to control our weight. And for this, we have an amazing program. We call it a nutritional cleansing program. It's not purely just a weight loss program. It's a cleansing program, meaning if you look at yourself and you say, I don't have any kilos to lose, I'm okay. Still, I'll tell you, at least once a year, do that C9. Cleanse your system, because you don't let your car run for the whole year without doing service to that car. It won't perform the way it's supposed to. The same for our bodies. Sometimes we overload them. We put a lot of toxins. We mishandle them. We eat badly. But then we can't take a time. We can't take a break in a year and say, let me add value to my health. Let me change the way my body behaves. Let me help my body get rid of these excess toxins. Doing C9 will tremendously help you to do that. But as well, in the 9 days, it will help you lose in between 3 to 6 kilos for most people. Of course, we have people losing even more than that, but it will be the first most important step when it comes to losing weight. If your goal is to control weight, there's no better place to start than with the C9 program. Because after you have cleansed your system, now your fat cells can be able to be burnt more. Your body can be able to let go of the fat cells because you have gotten rid of the toxins that were held inside the fat cells. Now, if you use it together with the F15 as well, if you have a goal of losing more than 10 kilos, you will definitely and tremendously hit your goal in a very effective way. And I'm speaking that because we have a lot of ladies, a lot of women who have been able to do the same. This mom of one you see there, she was really overweight. Look at her and the transformation that she has had. Today, she looks like she's 18 years old. And like that, we have a lot of other people. Like you see there, Mama Ravin, we call her Fit Mama. She's an amazing, she has done an amazing transformation on her health as well. Veronica, a mom of 3 as well. Look at her transformation. And we have a lot of ladies who struggle for years to lose just 5 kilos and they can't be able to hit their goal. But when you use the right program, it will not only help you reach your goal, but it will add value to your health at the same time. Myself included, I thank God 3 times now I've been able to lose my weight while breastfeeding and even after breastfeeding without even losing my milk. I've been able to continue breastfeeding while using these amazing products. And we have a specific one for someone who is breastfeeding that will help you lose weight, control weight, and get back in shape. Just look at the way that I look amazing there, if I must say so myself. So how many people do you know who are struggling with this? You have that information today that you can be able to help them. By the way, I know people who have been able to transform their health without, the key point here is you don't have to make yourself look like you're sick so that you lose the weight. You don't have to struggle for years so that you just lose the 5 kilos. You can be able to get there easier and more effectively while adding value to your health with these products. Now, you see here, these are in Swahili, but there are testimonies of different people. Some who have gotten pregnant after using the C9, after cleansing their system, after working on their weight. Some did not have regular periods. Hormones were up all over the place. But after they did the C9, they were able to do that, because we get a lot of people asking, if I use this C9, will I be able to conceive if I've not conceived yet? My dear lady, it could actually fasten your speed of you conceiving, because it's a natural cleansing program. So it will actually help your body function better than it did before you do this program. And as well, when you speak of hormonal imbalances, when you speak of sexual health, vaginal dryness, you cannot miss this. I can say the very vital supplement for women. When you speak of reproductive supplements, there are mainly 3 ones that I recommend for ladies. So the first one, the very key one, is this one. It's called Maca, and it's a natural product that is originating from that root that you see there. It's called a maca root that naturally grows among the Peru region mainly, and they use it as food, just as a normal food. They eat it a lot, and it helps them in building stamina. It helps them in reproductive health, in hormones for women, and even for calves. It has that benefit as well. Now, Forever has been able to make it in a product that you can use daily to help you in your reproductive health. So it has tons and tons of benefits for women. Why we recommend it is because even when it comes to PMS, when it comes to the painful periods that someone could be experiencing, all the hot flashes around menopausal area, and anything in between, from vaginal dryness, lack of libido, and not feeling like having intercourse, not having the energy, even fertility, it helps you be able to get rid of that. And when you speak of yeast infection, you know, that is something else that is very common in women. And most of the time it's because of hormonal imbalance. Irregularities in hormones will most definitely increase your risk of getting fungal infections. You treat one today, after 2 months, you get another one. Why? Your hormones are not okay. And sometimes the pH balance in your vaginal area is also disrupted, easily disrupted from the soaps that you could be using. So at that point, I'm also mentioning about using the right soaps when it comes to cleaning yourself, because the wrong soaps could be causing a lot of issues in your vaginal health as well. But when you control hormones with the maca as well, it will help you keep an eye on the recurrent yeast infections, especially in the vaginal area. Yeah, now Maca does a lot of that. And actually, it was among the main supplements that helped me even in my PCOS challenge, because I had those issues with the hormones and all that. I was able to get rid of those after using Maca as one of the supplements. But again, we have another one. But before I go there, let me just share with you. Again, these are mainly in Swahili, but these are testimonies of people who have used Maca. Some of them was for the libido, the feeling they never used to get that urge of having intercourse. After using Maca, you get that. This person was complaining. She had a lot of stress. She used to get tired all the time, and then she was not having that urge of intercourse. After using Maca, she feels very different, and it was just in about a week of using, and she was able to sleep better, have more energy in her days, and things like that. Now, we have a lot of testimonies like that for people who have used Maca for different reasons, okay? Even just that reason of handling your stress better. You can be able to use Maca so that you can relax and enjoy your days even better. And then we have another important supplement when it comes to women health. We call it Vitalize for women. Again, different groups of people, they have different needs. I know we have reached our time, 1 hour, but again, we just have a few extras. So bear with me, guys. We are about to get to the end. So we're going to finish just a few points. So when it comes to women, when it comes to health and nutrition, most of the time at home, we eat the same, but we are not all at the same level. Some need more of a certain vitamin. Probably as a growing child in your house, they need extra omega-3 for the brain activity. And you probably need extra zinc, extra vitamin C, extra B6 vitamin so that you can control your hormones better. But most of the time we eat the same. So it means sometimes there are deficiencies that you could be having in your diet. And that is why this supplement was designed especially for women. When it comes to women's health in mind, you cannot miss anything that is very, very vital and important in the Vitalize for women. From controlling your brain, handling your stress and mood balance, we have the apple powder, passion powder, and Shisandra, and even cranberry that will help you in your recurrent UTIs. But of course, vitamins from B6, B12, vitamin C, that will control everything from your hormones balance, your PMS, your mood balance, even just boosting your immunity and helping your body function better. When you speak of strong antioxidant, we have vitamin C, vitamin E, which are all included within the Vitalize for women. But again, it helps you in your hormones balance because it has the exact things that are causing the hormonal imbalances. One of them being vitamin D, vitamin B6, and all those apple powders and everything there in the on the first point. Now, when you use Vitalize for women, it will help you naturally balance your hormones, but at the same time handle PMS, handle menopausal issues. You know, vitamin E is very important for menopausal symptoms. So if you're facing menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, and any of those things, start using Vitalize for women immediately. It will definitely help you in the way that your body behaves. So we have, again, testimonies of people who have used it. This lady was testifying how it has helped her in hormonal imbalance, hormonal issues, and PMS that she used to have before. But now, after starting to use Vitalize for women, she has been able to put that in control. Now, think of all the people that you know that could be struggling in the same issues. You can be able to help them with this right supplement. And then we go further to the Royal Jelly. It was among the 3 supplements that I used as well. Multi-Marker, Vitalize for women, and Royal Jelly. I highly, highly recommend them. Use them if you want to add value to reproductive health and improve your reproductive health as well. Royal Jelly is a food that is special for the queen bee. And I know all of you guys here, you are queens in your own right. So you have to give your body the best. When it comes to the best in your nutrition, Royal Jelly is one of the most nutritious superfoods that we have in nature. And that is why the queen bee, when it comes to the bee colonies, only the queen bee, it's only Royal Jelly for all their life. And that allows them to live for 6 years, while other bees live only for 6 weeks. So when it comes to the anti-aging benefit that you want, Royal Jelly must be part of the supplements that you use often. And good thing about this, it tastes amazing. You just put it under your tongue, and you can just use it as a sweet, and it will add a lot of value to your health. It's very nutritious. It will help you in reducing stress, balancing your hormones, anti-aging benefit, without forgetting the reproductive health benefit when it comes to boosting fertility. Royal Jelly is naturally known as a fertility superfood. So if your goal is fertility and you're not using Royal Jelly, you're missing out on a very important supplement. So use it. Again, even if you want the benefit of increased libido, you want the balance in your menstrual periods, if they're irregular in any way, you can be able to control that with the Royal Jelly, okay? Let me remind you, if you get any questions, you can type them, or you can even save them for later so that you can be able to ask me directly. Let me share now this story of this lady. I showed you before her transformation, body transformation story, but Rafia also had an issue with fibroids. Actually, she was diagnosed with 3 fibroids. One was 7 centimeters, another one was 4, and the third one was 3 centimeters. And the doctor told her, we need to operate on you, but her blood was very low. She was not able to go straight to the operation. So the doctor told him, you have to wait about these 3 to 6 months so that we can build your blood up, and then you can come for the operation. During that time, she met someone who showed her about these amazing products. She told her, she recommended her this product that she should use when it comes to reducing inflammation, the supplements that she could use to control hormones and things like that. And she started using them immediately. Just about 3 months later, she was able to have only 1 fibroid left. It means the 4 centimeter and the 3 centimeter ones had disappeared. She was left with only 1, that was 3 centimeter, from 7 to 3. She continued using the supplements even after she naturally conceived, and she was able to eventually get rid of all of them. And now she's standing there. You see her picture there as a mom of 2, very healthy. She never had to go to an operation, and she owes it to all these amazing, amazing products, which she's extremely proud of. Now, like I said earlier, I don't know the size of your fibroids, but there are some sizes that probably need an intervention, like you to get an operation. But if you can go and catch them early, use the supplements. They can be able to help your body get rid of them without you needing any kind of an operation. And I would urge you, ladies, like I showed you, 7 to 8 people could have fibroids in their lifetime. You could not know what is going on in your body. So have that regular habit of doing an ultrasound. Even if it's after 1 year, do an ultrasound so that you can check that everything is okay. You don't have anything starting to prop up in your system. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the supplements that she used also, this is among the key supplements when it comes to any over-inflammation in your system, when it comes to any tumor, anything that you want your body to shrink to handle inflammation. Don't miss this propolis, bee propolis. It's a natural product that comes from bees, and it's called a natural antibiotic. We like to call it a natural antibiotic because even the bees, they make propolis to use it as a thing that they protect their hives with, so that no bacteria or virus or fungus can come in. So when it comes to you controlling infection, or someone who has recurrent fungal infection, recurrent UTIs, or whatever inflammations, when it comes to PID, use the bee propolis. It will help you control inflammation. It will help your natural immunity to grow so that your body can be able to fight and reduce the inflammation even better. So that is among the very key supplements for women as well when it comes to our nutrition. And also omega-3. Actic C, super omega-3 is another very important thing that we need in our nutrition. You know, we all need omega-3. And I can say this is among the supplements that a lot of people in your family need. I can say from someone who is inside someone's belly, someone who's growing, because it's very important for your brain health. The brain cells, they feed on omega-3. Now, most of the time we are lacking in the omega-3 because even the omega-3 we get from vegetables, it's very hard for it to be absorbed easily in your systems, unless it is in the mode that is in EPA and DHA, that is in the Actic C. So the Actic C, the way it is designed, it's in a way that your body will make the most of the omega-3 for your brain health. It means for your baby, for someone who is pregnant or breastfeeding, even for a growing child, for someone who is growing, because their brain is still actively producing other cells. So you need to support that with omega-3, but as well for hormones. When it comes to women, hormones are highly dependent on omega-3, hormone balance. As well, even the vaginal dryness, we spoke about it, the menopause issues, we need omega-3 so that we can control that. Even a lot of inflammation in our system, omega-3 is among the top supplements that can help you put a handle on inflammations in your system. So again, this is another very simple, very important supplement for all of us to be taking every single day in our systems. Yeah, of course, it will come with a lot of extra benefits in your joint health, in your blood circulation, getting rid of bad cholesterol and things like that, okay? So yeah, and lastly, when you go to the menopausal area, again, it's a time in our lives where our bodies are not performing as they used to. And that is why there are key supplements, like you see them on stage, I've spoken about them, like the Berry Nectar, Vitalize Women, Actic C, and Royal Jelly. But as well, it's important to add the protein shake, Why? Because as we age, our natural ability to get protein and to absorb protein, it goes down. And that is why the skin even looks saggy sometimes as we age. Why? Because the protein in our muscles, it kind of sags, and our bodies lack that natural ability to get more from the protein that we are eating as we age. So opting to use Ultra more often, it will actually add more value as we get into the menopausal area. And all the other supplements, they'll continue helping you age well, get rid of those menopausal symptoms, and enjoy that season in your life, okay? Yeah, so in a nutshell, we have spoken a lot about different things, and I will sum them up in these key points that we need to find a way that we can exercise often, because exercising will naturally help your body get rid of those toxins as well. Drink a lot of water from 2 liters and above. Eat mostly healthy foods. I'm not saying you should be 100% perfect. Nobody is, but eat mostly healthy foods and cleanse and detox often your body, every year at least. If you have kilos to lose, then use the right programs that will help you to get to your ideal weight when it comes to your BMI. Not how you look, not just fitting in your old clothes, but get into your BMI and check how can you get back to where you're supposed to be. Look into the supplements that you need to be getting, because like I said, your body can naturally heal itself. Sometimes you need to heal yourself from things you don't even know that you have, because you just did not do a medical checkup, but you have issues. So why don't you take the supplements that will help you control different areas in your system? But treat yourself, love yourself, relax, get rid of stress in your life, because stress could be one of the biggest causes of diseases in our life today. And stress could even be caused by things that you can control. The people that you're following, the people that are around you more often, do they cause more stress or more energy in your life? Opt for more energy, and it will add value to your health as well. So let me remind you, whatever you will spend when it comes to your health is not an expense. It's an investment. Because if you don't use it today, there's a day it will come back to you as an expense, as a doctor's bill, that you have to do so and so, just because some years back, some months back, you did not add value to your health. With the knowledge that you have today, you can be able to change a few things in your lifestyle. You can be able to add a few lifestyle changes using supplements and doing what we recommended, so that you can be able to be healthier 1 year from now, and your body will definitely thank you for the investment that you're giving it today, because we are all in this world where every risk we spoke about, it touches each and every one of you. So don't say that, don't imagine that you are in a certain bubble that all these things will not touch you. They definitely can touch anyone. And that is why we all should be very key and very up there when it comes to taking care of our health and taking the responsibility. And I'd love to finish by saying, start where you are. Don't say I have to wait until I can buy a lot of things. Start with what you have right now. Use it. Do what you can do right now, so that you can be able to be healthier, and you can even touch other people from your own story, from your own experience. Imagine if I didn't change my health, if I didn't use these products for my own to be able to transform my personal health as well. How many ladies I couldn't have helped today? A lot. But because I added value to my health, now I can stand here as someone who has added value to a lot of other people who are facing the same issues, just because I stood up and I started where I was. So don't just get this information and sleep with it. Share with someone else. Use it for yourself, but then share it with someone else as well, so that it could be a ripple effect that you have started, and you don't know how far it can go. So my dear ladies, I'm so grateful to have talked to you here today. Thank you for your time, and sorry for the extra 15 minutes that we have added. I'm sure you have gotten some value from this, and I'm so happy to have spoken to you, and I pray that you will continue to be blessed and your health will continue to improve as you do what you have spoken about here, and you will touch a lot more people from your own experiences as well. So thank you so much. And back to, if Tukia is in the house and you can hear, you can be able to speak now, and I'll just browse through to see if we have any questions that we can answer here. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, and thank you for listening until now. I see a lot of thank yous. I'm looking for questions. Okay, to Kia or Miriam, if you're in the house, you can be able to close. Yeah, I see some question here. What can one use to restore irregular periods following use of injectable contraceptives? Okay, when it comes to any hormonal contraceptives, like I said, I experienced it as well. I use the hormonal contraceptives, we call it the one you put under your arm. And after getting it out, my hormones did not go back to normal. So again, I wanted to conceive the third baby, and I was not able to do it naturally. So what I did, I went to the 3 supplements. I used them together with the berry nectar, and they drastically helped me to be able to put my menses back in order, and eventually I conceived. Yeah, so definitely these same supplements I'm talking about when it comes to fertility supplements, royal jelly, Vitalize for women, and multimarker. And they work even best when you use them together. So invest in using them together at the same time, because each of them touches a different area. And it's very important for someone who wants to conceive. Yeah, and get rid of the hormonal issues that are coming from whatever contraceptives that they used. And it could be because of a contraceptives, it could be because of just lifestyle and the diet that they have, whatever the issue, still you can be able to solve it. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Dr. Elizabeth, you are absolutely amazing. You are a star. You have done it so, so great. Thank you so, so much, Dr. Elizabeth, for such an amazing session. And to each and every lady, each and every woman who logged in this session, this information might be for you, but it might also be for another person. Thank you so much for coming through. I do know, and I have learned, you have learned. Let's go out there and share with others. And if you are interested in any of the products, what you could just do, reach out to the person who invited you to this session. And ladies, let's go out there and live a healthy life. From me to you, much love. Have an amazing night. Dr. Elizabeth, thank you so, so much. I can't thank you enough. You have been so, so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tukia, and thank you, everyone, as well. Bye-bye, and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.